I ask you a couple of questions, and I'd fully understand if you weren't interested in talking about the mining in Spain, because there's an ongoing issue. Well, one of the questions I had was, did you lease the land in Spain or did you purchase it? The mining company.
First, it's not the same. It's not even the same company.
No, I realize that. But wouldn't you agree that past performance, past behavior is a very good predictor of future performance or behavior?
I would agree that there are a lot more
Like
things
the Packers.
in
Their
common.
past performance gives you the odds on how they're going to behave.
Now that hurts.
I know that hurts.
I mean, I've heard a lot of
Just
things
to the
that really
question,
hurt.
was that land leased or was it purchased? Just a simple question.
Yes.
Yes, but it was leased and purchased.
Yes.
Were any mining laws changed in Spain prior to the operation there?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so that was just a question that I had. I'm thank you for answering that.
The process in Wisconsin and the United States, we've got our own sets of regulations, and we have to show to the satisfaction of state and federal regulators over here on a ferrous mining project in Wisconsin, and that's where we're at, is a ferrous mining project in Wisconsin.
My experience fishing in Alaska prior to the Exxon Valdez showed me that the Exxon Valdez oil spill was settled with fishermen that I still know their widows, only 2 years ago. And the environment there in Valdez, in Cordova, has never rebounded. So when a corporation, this is a really important question to me because it encompasses a lot. When a representative corporation says, we will be responsible for anything that goes wrong, should it go wrong, we don't think it will, we've got our safeguards, but we will be held accountable, don't worry. Does that mean we as a corporate board, as individuals, as people, or does that mean the corporation? And what happens when a corporation goes bankrupt and is dismantled? If something catastrophic were to happen, like the Exxon Valdez or BP or a number of things, if a company like the Canadian mining company, for example, if it disbanded,
Which Canadian mining?
specifically the one that owned the Seville mine, the Canadian company that you work for in Seville, Spain.
That owned Las Cruces?
Correct.
And what was your question?
So the
So
law,
let's say a corporation becomes disbanded, it goes bankrupt. How is monies recovered for something that is invaluable?
reclamation, for instance.
We got bonding on all.
Okay.
So it's bonding. So it's an insurance company that says, wow, if things go massively wrong.
For instance, there was a reclamation. The state comes through and says, at each point of at regular points in the process, if we had to stop this today and reclaim this project, and the company didn't pay a dime, how much would it cost to do this? And that's the money we have to bond. We have to have the state holds a bond, so they would be able to do that work, whether or not we're around. So there's that kind of bonding that's included to provide that sort of relief.
That insurance, yeah. And of course, we're all aware of actuary tables. If you lose an eye, if someone is in the war and they lose a leg, the VA has a set number, what that means to. But when we talk about natural resources that are irreplaceable, like fresh water, the largest freshwater body that's shared with another sovereign country, how do we put a number on that? How do you come up with a number of bonding? $1 billion, $2 billion.
What is your assumption?
You're
making the assumption.
I am.
You're making the assumption that Superior will be polluted? Is that what
The
you're saying?
regulator.
Because
well,
I would want to, as a conservative person, I would want to take the worst case scenario and prepare for it. I'd hope for the best, but I would prevent the worst. So
For this reclamation bonding, for
that way.
instance, there's not a limit on what the state puts in for it.
So $1 trillion.
They can-
There's no limit on it?
There isn't. They have, I mean, obviously, if they have the ability to put whatever the cost is of reclamation into that bond.
And something like AIG would pay on that? An insurance
You know-
company somewhere would pay that, whatever it was?
However, the bond, I'm not an expert on how a bond works, but I,
I
know
think we all
that,
need to know how it works
I
at
know
some
that,
point.
well, you know what? Bonding happens every day.
Absolutely, but
And-
not with natural resources like this,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah, this is the law.
Well, natural resources like,
Bonds are held on environmental projects all the time. And so I guess, is your opposition then
I'll have to
to,
tell you.
is it to any mining?
No. In fact, I grew up
Because-
in the Upper Peninsula,
Because
And-
bonding is part of
right?
the environmental issue in every mining project that I'm aware of, and every, in the law, there is a protection in every case.
Well, I can tell you from my experience in Alaska, the amount of money that was paid out to fishermen didn't solve the problem, didn't solve the environment. Whatever they were bonded for, it's not going to bring the salmon back to the population that I saw prior to the Exxon Valdez. It's not going to change the harm that was done. It's an impossibility to say that money will bring back something that money could never buy.
Which is an argument against any kind of development.
It sure
anywhere
is,
at any
and
time.
I just wanted to point out that when I first heard, because I'm from Ontonagon County in Upper Michigan, it's a ghost town in White Pine. They used to have a beautiful, well-funded school. The swimming pool has been filled with cement for 25 years. It's a ghost town. And when I heard that mining might be coming back, I was so happy. Finally, something good coming to the economy. And it makes Mellon, Curly, Ironwood look like they're doing fine. And I know they have high unemployment. So I would say that every other household would be really excited for a shot in the arm in the economy. Many of the fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, my own father worked in a copper mine and iron in White Pine for 6 months. Almost killed himself and 3 other men because the brakes went out on a dozer, and only his gymnastics saved their lives. But that's neither here nor there. It's a very dangerous job. My point is that those proud, hardworking men would have taken a hard job and a dangerous job like fishing, logging, mining, and knowing that it would probably take some time off their life to feed their family. But they would never do it. They would never take the money with the strings attached that it might jeopardize their children's water supply, etc.